Hello and welcome back to Rams Talk Podcast. We are live on Tuesday night talking about a game that happened on Monday night against Sheffield Wednesday. So all the weeks at play. I'm firstly joined by a man that I would speak to on every day of the week and twice on Sundays. It's Callum Boocock. How are you, Cal?
Yeah, good. Now, once on Tuesdays now, I need to add to that.
Yeah, I felt a little bit bad for digging out your glasses in the Christmas special. So I'm gonna be kinder to you tonight, I think.
I was about to say, I can't really comment about your one because it looked a bit, one very warm, two very suspect.
It was very warm and very suspect. I'm also joined by Mr. Positive, the owner of a glorious half zip, quarter zip. You'll be able to tell me. And my second favourite Little after Stuart, it's Ivan Little. How are you doing, Ivan?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, man. That's a really nice intro. I appreciate that. Brings some old memories of being called Stuart Little as a kid. So that's
Just
really
brought
got
back
me in
some
the
trauma.
mood. Yeah, it has. Yeah, just a little thing in the back of the head there. But yeah, no, feeling good. I had a bit of a nervy walk back to my Sheffield hotel room yesterday. So I'm glad to be back in my safe home, being able to show off this beautiful Derby County apparel that I have.
It's very nice. For some people, that would be treasured in the wardrobe in a polythene bag, but you seem to be wearing it, enjoying it, and I love that. So,
Course.
keep
Depop
keep
from
it up.
Ukraine, mate. I have to, it cost a fair amount getting over here. So I've got to show it off to people.
Exactly that. Well, we're obviously here talking about the result yesterday. 3 points for Derby, 3 goals, a clean sheet. Callum couldn't have really gone any better, could it?
No, I mean, when you look at the tail of the tape going into the game, you think that, look, they're a team that and a club that are in a bit of a situation at the moment. They're probably penned on for going down to League One unless they pull off a miraculous escape. But watching the game last night, that you'd say that they're going to struggle with that. But we're no stranger to what their situation they're going through and what they're having to play currently. They're playing a lot of youth players and a lot of people on players are on the older side of their career and probably past it in terms of championship quality, but they're still turning up, still playing the game, and to be fair to them, they're still 23,000 at the ground last night on a Monday night. So look, we knew what we were getting into. We just had to go and do a job, and obviously, first 20 minutes probably seemed a bit more nervy than it should have been, and then managed to get that one goal, kind of killed a few bit of nerves, and then went on from there.
Ivan, you were there last night. Was there a little bit of worry that we're Derby County and we don't tend to do well at Hillsborough and potentially they were going to do a number on us?
Yeah, there was a massive worry about that, to be honest. I mean, it's just a bit of a horrible game. A win almost isn't enough. You need to go there and really put them away to sort of feel satisfied. But part of me was looking at some of their other scores. Like Watford drew with them. Preston shipped two to them. Like there are some teams that have gone in there that have struggled. And it's similar to watching like Wolves play at the moment. Breaking down a team like that on paper seems really easy, but we don't play the most expansive football, and we're bottom of the league for average possession per game. So I was interested to see what was going to happen because I'm assuming, or I've seen, they haven't had loads of the ball throughout the year against other oppositions, and we don't usually do as well against teams who don't want to keep the ball. We're good off the ball, breaking down, counter attack kind of thing. So it was interesting, but yeah, really happy with the result, and it was a great away day. Really, really loud, and gave them a lot of stick for some of the stuff that they said to us when we were on the way down. So that was quite satisfying.
We'll talk more about the atmosphere a little bit later, but let's talk about that first 20 minutes, Cal. As you said there, a slow start from Derby. Do you think that was just us sussing it out and being a little bit uncomfortable having the ball?
Yeah, you could probably say that. I think when you look at what we're set up to do, it really suits us away from home. I think that the opposition having the ball, so we do like to let teams have it and then counter on transition, and we did that quite well last night in some areas. I think the first 20 odd minutes, you're just trying to ride the wave, aren't you, of that team that probably is almost a massive banana skin to most teams in the Championship this season. And I think from our perspective, we just needed to be, like I said, a bit more cautious, just see what danger they're going to offer in the first 20 odd minutes, and then if we can show a bit of quality up the other end and see if we can get our noses in front. And I think once we got our noses in front, I think, like you said, those nerves kind of settled. I think I didn't see them really troubling us from that point onwards. I think when you look at what they were trying to do, they were trying to dictate the ball, but they weren't really going anywhere with it. So I think once we got the noses in front, I think just meant that the crowd either settled and I think the team settled and just got into a flow state then.
The breakthrough came through Patrick, Agyemang, Ivan. First 20 minutes, as we said off air, was pretty poor, wasn't he?
I never said that. Like, that didn't come out of it.
But yeah, really struggled first 20, and he was obviously out on that left, and he did have that width, but he just wanted to try and take on a few too many players, come inside. And as we know, Patrick Agyemang is most dangerous when he's in wide positions and he's going down that line and taking players on. It just didn't work for him for the first 20, but he finds himself in a position. The ball is laid to him from Bobby Clark. And I said there, it's been a poor 20 minutes, but that piece of skill and that finish is up there with the best that you will see at this level, and potentially higher, maybe in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you say 20. I feel like he scored on 32. It was 32 minutes of Iorfa like completely boxing him. He was dreadful. He couldn't get around him, couldn't get the ball out of his feet. Fozzie, you could see, was getting really frustrated that he wasn't making sort of inward runs, and he just wasn't helping it. You know, Fozzie needs a little bit of help when he's played out wide, and he just wasn't there at all and wasn't making the right runs. So that was pretty frustrating to see, and it was like gearing up to be a classic sort of like, oh, we've gone and drawn 0-0 with Sheffield Wednesday. And then in typical sort of Agyemang fashion, he shows you why there's that raw talent somewhere. And yeah, he drops the shoulder and smashes it into the bottom right, like completely killed Iorfa. Like you can see in the sort of slow-mo shot that they got, he just gives up. He probably could have taken another touch and had an easier finish, because he was gone, and he just slots it into the bottom corner. And yeah, super happy with him. Really happy for him. Wasn't so happy with the USA chance, but that's fair enough. You know, people can do that if they want. I'm not the biggest fan, but yeah, he was good, and he showed that. I think a lot of wingers may have dropped their heads after that sort of first 20-30 minutes and sort of thought like, Iorfa's a big lad and he's handling me. He could have just sort of zoned out of the game and got frustrated and got hooked at, just after half time, but he didn't, and he showed sort of why we've invested money in the potential rather than the sort of player that he is right now.
Cal, do you think it's a case of Agyemang doesn't know what he wants to do, fans don't know what he wants to do, and for that reason, a defender probably doesn't know what he wants to do? Because you'd imagine in that situation that he'd probably take a touch and go the other way, or it would bobble around at his feet or something like that. But that feint that he did, I mean, he could have sold probably 2 or 3 defenders with that movement. It was pretty special, wasn't it?
Yeah, a moment of quality. And I think when you look at, like you say, Ivan was spot on. He's got that raw talent, and that's what we've invested in. It's kind of, we want John Eustace to harness that and turn him into the player that we know he can be. You look at both goals he scored, and we'll talk about the second one later on, but they're polar opposites. One's a poacher's finish, one's a real clinical striker's finish. And it was interesting listening to John Eustace saying that he is still learning, and he thought he was pretty poor in the first 20 odd minutes. So it's kind of nice that the manager is seeing similar things to what the supporters are seeing, and to probably what Agyemang was probably feeling, because he was struggling to get into the game. But that he keeps continuing to try to come on the inside on his right foot, and what they're trying to get him to do is go on the outside and actually use that pace and trickery that he's got. And he likes a step over and a drop of the shoulder, but use it to your advantage and get on the outside of defenders and shoot across the goalkeeper, because you've got the talent. You just, obviously it's trying to do it more consistently. So it's nice that the manager and the coaching staff have got something to work with, and I think everyone can see that he's got bags and bags of potential. Like you say, it's just really unpredictable at the moment, but that's exciting. It's exciting to watch, and I enjoy, as much as he frustrates me in some cases, I enjoy watching him. I think when he goes off, and when he went off towards the end of the game, I'm kind of a bit deflated. It's like there's no one really doing what he does, is there?
There's not, no. And I can't think of a player, especially in my time, that is that unpredictable, that you really don't know what's going to happen. It's either Rose Ed stuff or top corner, or in many cases, controlling a 5-yard pass seems to be a real challenge for him sometimes, but then he's able to find that quality in the box, and also the finish as well. For the first goal, it was a hell of a finish. It really was. Let's talk about the midfield, because I think that is where we won the game, in my opinion, yesterday, Ivan. Tomo and Bobby Clark, what they lack in height, weight, physicality, you may say, they definitely make up in legs and heart and just effort as well. Both were absolutely fantastic and really complemented each other. You were obviously seeing it from the stands. What were your thoughts on those two?
Yeah, I think it's a really strange one, because it was clear that Eustace wanted a big sort of body around Clark. Once Clark cemented his position in the team, it was like, okay, we want an Ozo, we want an Ebu or a Travis next to him that can sort of break up play a little bit and make the game easier. And you kind of just seen that in the history of football, like big and small work together. Opposites work. So when I saw the first game a few games ago where Tomo was picked with Clark, I was sort of thinking, is he changing the system, or like that? It's really strange. I mean, they seem like they're about 5'5", 5'6". They're both tiny. And I think it's more of a credit. Tomo is fantastic, and he's been really good the last couple of games. I think it is a credit to Clark how good he is at defending, and it kind of goes under the radar because you see how tricky he is and good at like carrying the ball. But he puts himself about, and he does cover a lot of ground. He's not like a sort of Mason Mount who would sort of drift in out of position and play passes. He does get stuck in, and he wins the ball back just as much as Tomo does. So yeah, yesterday I just thought they worked really well together. And just going back to Agyemang for a second, him being that dangerous out wide helps them a lot, because it means that, like, at the start of the season when we were playing 4 strikers up front, 4 like centre forwards, it was really compact and it was really clunky, and the defenders, it was much easier for them to close down the space in midfield because you weren't worried about that run going out wide. And Agyemang makes it a lot bigger. It gives them a lot more space in midfield on the ball. And then obviously we play really sort of compact football when we're off the ball, so it makes it easier for them defending. But yeah, it seems great. It'll be a problem when Travis and Ozo are back and Ebu's still going for the position, but they're the problems you want. You want to have loads of people, squad depth, especially in midfield, especially around this time. Obviously we don't have it because there's a lot of injuries, but you need people really going for each position, and midfield is so tricky, especially with the injuries we have. So I'm really happy that Tomo stepped up after getting his contract extension.
And Cal, there's been situations this year that players have stepped up. We've seen it with Ozo. We've seen it with Ebu Adams, who I thought took his opportunity in the side when we were on the run. And players have come in, and I think a player that's come in time and time again under every single manager he's played for is Liam Thompson. he gets his goal last night. I think every single Derby fan was absolutely over the moon that he got his goal. Be careful though, Tomo. Look out for that AstroTurf. Everyone knows you don't slide on AstroTurf. But yeah, how happy were you that he got his first championship goal last night?
Look, I think from what he has done since he came through the ranks, he's always kind of been that unsung underdog of an academy player that's kind of stuck around when all of his counterparts have all moved on, and he's been that one common denominator that when we're looking at our kind of what we've produced through Moor Farm and has stuck with the club. He signed an extension and with John Eustace because he probably looked at all the other suitors and went, I can develop under this manager, and if I get my chance, I think I can thrive in this system. And I think that he's now come into a system with, for me, a great central midfield partner in Bobby Clark, who again is a common denominator that since we've done well in our run. I think when you look at he's been partnered with Ozo, he's been partnered with Adams, now Thompson, and it doesn't seem to have faltered. And I think that's testament to Bobby Clark. But I think Thompson massively complements him and offers him something completely different, and a ball playing. Goes and gets him off the central defenders and then goes and takes us up further off the pitch. And that's exactly what we've been missing.
Ivan, not a player that's renowned for his goal scoring ability, but the fact that that was his weaker foot, I mean, a lot of players would have just snatched at that and tried to get their foot around it. The thought to be able to take that first touch and then find the back of the net, it was actually a really, really good goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great goal. It reminds me of a Johnny Russell goal. I can't remember who it was against. It might have been against Forest. But yeah, just taking it down in the box and sort of just having a swing at it. And if you connect with it perfectly, it can, take the net off. But he didn't, but that was fine. And we kind of thrived on that unpredictable nature of their defence, and they're not good at defending corners, nor are they good at attacking corners. So that it was clearly something that used to sort of sort out, having Tom on the edge of the box there and attacking the ball once second balls were going to be really important. So I'm very happy he got his goal. I'm really happy he stayed. I think there are a few people that after the season were sort of saying, right, we need to move on from players like Tomo. He's good, but he's not great. He's probably not going to play when we get a couple of more midfielders in. And yeah, testament to him for signing the contract and saying, no, I'm going to fight for my spot. He clearly loves the club. Like we saw that from when we got promoted, all the videos of him on the night out. But yeah, you just have a natural affinity to academy players. And because of our history with admin and stuff, we unfortunately haven't got to appreciate a lot of as many as we did years ago. And so it's really nice that we've got someone who's around who loves the club and is stepped in at a really important moment. Because if he's not producing now, who do you play in midfield? If we lost him, he's become a real integral member of the team now, because Travis isn't back. Ebu's in and out and doesn't seem to work as well with Clark, and who knows when Ozo is going to be back. So it's really good that he stepped up. I was going to say one thing as well about, I'm sure we'll move on to the backline stuff, but I thought Sanderson was fantastic yesterday at stepping out. Because they're lightweight, you always think the emphasis for the other team is going to be play it into midfield, aerial balls, win it, second ball, stuff like that. Sanderson kept stepping out because that's what you have to do if you're that middle centre back in a three. And he just kept winning the ball on behalf of them, and then they were allowed to go and get the second balls, which they're good at. So it was really well played by Tomo, and it was clearly Eustace system that allows players like that to sort of thrive. So I'm really, really happy that he stayed with us, and he's now, one of the maybe first names on the team sheet at the moment.
And you look down the years for Derby County players, and especially the academy products, this is how, I guess, careers are formed. It's taking an opportunity. It's when other players are injured. It's when the chips are down. Can you come in and kind of keep that spot? Now, there will be a lot of people saying when Travis is back, he comes straight back in, which I kind of think will be the case. Is there an opportunity for Travis to come back in this team and still get the best out of Liam Thompson and Bobby Clark, Cal?
I don't think as a three. I think the current system that we're playing is working, and I don't think break something that's not broken. I think the good thing is that when he is back, and look, Travis is Eustace's man. He's this now on paper the captain of the club, and will more than likely return to the starting lineup. But we don't need to rush him back, which is the biggest thing. He's been out for a while. What we don't want is bringing him back straight back in, and then he gets a reoccurrence of an injury, and we get him, and he's out for a longer period of time because of the current system and the current the duo that are working at the moment. You can bring him back in phases, and I think that probably the casualty mainly will probably be Ibu. I think Travis would probably take his spot on the bench, unless you have both of them on there, and you can maybe do a double swap. But I think the only thing we're lacking in some game management perspectives from Travis's point of view is probably leadership, and that at set pieces and maybe seeing out games. I think the good thing is yesterday we didn't need to. The game kind of got away from Sheffield Wednesday. But we've seen in the last 3 or 4 games that we've kind of capitulated in some aspects. So I think that is one of the main things that Travis will bring that we're missing with Morris and him out. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see what happens. But I think at the moment, the two to beat are Tomo and Clark.
Agreed. Just looking at the comments, Jim says, I also thought BDD had a good game, and you can see Bobby Clark's class. Also a comment from Jim as well. Good to see Brewster on the pitch, and that strength to create the third was immense. We'll talk about that third goal, Ivan, but Brewster over Salverson, were you surprised? Was it a case of knows the history, he's a former Blade, he's that kind of wind-up merchant that Sheffield Wednesday fans would probably hate to score against them? Were you surprised to see him start over Salverson and Salverson not get the nod?
Yeah, I think it was a mixture of two things for me. I was maybe wasn't surprised. I think as a manager, you've got to tap into the narrative side of things, and you've obviously got to know that I don't think Brewster particularly likes the blue half of Sheffield very much, and so that is, yeah, maybe one of the blue midfielders as well. I don't think he particularly likes. But yeah, you've got to tap into that a little bit as a manager and sort of think he's coming back from injury. He's probably raring to go. I was actually a little bit worried he was going to snap a hamstring because he was running so hard, especially for the third goal. But yeah, I think the other side of it, unfortunately, is I just don't think he rates Salverson very highly. He wasn't. I don't think he was his signing, was it? They came in at very similar times. So yeah, I just think that we've had some, especially after Morris went down against Watford, he didn't bring Salverson on, and that for me was the immediate I just don't think he thinks he's part of his system, or he doesn't work. I can see from a fan's point of view why we think, Salverson is almost the same archetype as Morris. He's good in the air, he's physical, he sort of wants to hold up play and be that focal point for us in the middle. But I don't think Eustace sees it the same way, and we've seen how stubborn he is with selection. I don't think you're going to see that much change, and I'd be very surprised if Salverson is here at the end of the season. I think he probably won't go in January because of injuries and stuff, but I think you can just tell sometimes with manager behaviour when they don't like a player or they do like a player. For example, I know a lot of people are saying that Brereton Diaz has a clause that he has to play. I think that could be true, but I also think that we don't have a lot of options, and Eustace, he's shown us how stubborn he is. He doesn't change a lot. He sticks to his guns, and much to the benefit of the team. For example, with Sanderson, he got so much stick at the start of the year, and a lot of managers who are less experienced would have been like, right, let me get him out. But he doesn't. He sticks to his system. He trusts the work that he puts in. and more often than not, we're seeing good stuff. So I always trust in him, and I think it paid off because Brewster looked really, really good, really, really lively. And because we had the game shorn up, I think he went off at 60 odd, something like that, 65 maybe.
Yeah.
And that's great. Get him 60 minutes, which he hasn't had in a while. And then hopefully that'll give him the confidence in his injury history to sort of step back in when he's needed, if he's needed to start. So I'm really happy that he started yesterday.
You say there as well about Eustace, and I think we've had a couple of situations this season and probably last season where we've criticised certain things that he's done, decisions that he's made. And I'd say 9 times out of 10, as fans, probably as a podcast, individuals, all of us, we've probably been wrong and Eustace has been right. So I agree. And I think under other managers, it would probably be twice out of 10 times that they've been right and the fans have been right. So we've got to trust him. It's a shame because I am a Salverson fan. I'd much rather see Salverson off the bench than Vyman, if I'm honest. That's just a personal opinion. And I'd like to see him start games as well. But hey, John, you keep doing what you're doing. Let's get in the playoffs and let's get back up to the promised land, and all will be okay. Cal, let's talk about that second goal. We've just talked about Brewster. It all comes from his desire, his physicality, his will to go and get that ball. He's bodied the defender. It was one of those situations where I actually I felt a bit sorry for the defender in that situation. For a second, then Agyemang's putting it in the back of the net, and I'm not really too bothered. But that is what we want to see. As Derby fans, we want to see effort. We want to see players that want to go and win the ball in that manner. And it was pretty special the way that he went and did that.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the build-up play between him and Agyemang, just to get it up to Brewster to then have an opportunity to do that kind of long touch and back his pace was great, and that's the link-up play I think that you'll start to see. And there was some really good pockets between the three of them who started. I think Brewster, Agyemang, and Brereton Diaz almost had a really good little bit of link up between the three of them, and Clark likes to feed into that, and so does Tomo. So I think the current starting 11, I'd look at again starting at the weekend. But yeah, I think with the goal, look, I didn't picture Brewster sitting someone on his backside, and with the size he is, but he looks quite stocky. I don't know if Ivan can attest that in person from what compared to the defender. But obviously at the game last night, but I just thought the defender was just much bigger than him, and I thought he's just going to bounce off him, but he did really well, put him down. And then, like you said, that quality to cut it back, obviously, don't wrong, it had a bit of fortune off Max Lowe, but then, like you say, like I mentioned earlier, that completely different finish for Agyemang and being in the box on the 6-yard area and putting it straight into the goal, and not even you didn't even think it was going any other place, to be honest. And for him, it was brilliant because it was quite comical halfway through this first, before he got that second goal. You kind of thought, I think there was one point, I think he was clutching his hamstring or looking at a bit tired and stuff. And I thought, he'll come off in the next 5 minutes or so. He got the brace, and then he was like getting the energy little packets off the side, and he was like, right, I'm sticking on and getting a third. And Vyman put his jacket back on. So I think Agyemang is very much a confidence player, and I think him, Brewster, and Brereton Diaz will do well. I think the three of them over the next few games.
It's another really good finish, Ivan, a really good first touch. He's waited for the goalkeeper to almost move before lifting it into the roof of the net. And those scenes, I mean, if they weren't wild for Tomo's goal, the third goal was pretty special as well. I was a little bit worried because obviously Agyemang was booked for his run-in with Iorfa shortly before.
Yeah.
And he kind of went behind the goal, and I was thinking, don't go and get yourself sent off, like jump in the crowd and start
shirt off,
surfing the crowd or something like that. But then equally, I was like, you know what? If he wants to do it, it's 3-0. go ahead. The game is over. But tell us about the scenes after that goal.
Yeah, I think you're saying that just because you want Salvesen in, obviously. So,
or Agyemang sends off.
Yeah. Yeah. The true Agyemang hater in you came out there just briefly. But yeah, no, it was a deceivingly good finish. Obviously, a huge stroke of luck, just sort of landing at his feet like that. But you've got to be in those positions as an attacking player, and yeah, credit to Brewster because that was awesome. I mean, watching it back, it was great, but in person, they're the kind of things that you love seeing as a fan. And I think the big thing was sort of it was such a strange game because they were horrendous in the second half, and we must have had about, I don't know, 15 counter-attacks that were like proper counter-attacks where you thought, right, we're going to score here. And it just took age. It just wasn't quite happening, or like the ball went to Jackson, or it was always something that wasn't quite working. And it just took a little bit of sort of like taking a risk, I guess, because Brewster, he's not. I mean, he's quick. He's. I wouldn't say he's like the quickest player on the pitch. He's not as quick as maybe Agyemang, but he pushes it past him. And for a player coming back from injury, he was busting to get there and absolutely sent the defender on his way to AFCON Juicy, which is where he's gone now, luckily. And he had a little bit of luck, but I can't remember who was at the back post, but it wasn't like it was, completely luck. And then, a good touch, and he has to put it in the roof of the net because there's sort of 3 players directly in front of him. And he does that. And I'm always worried when players run around the back of the goal. I always think there's been a couple of times where people run into the pin back goal strings. And so I'm always watching, like, please just don't, take your head off running through something like that. So, but no, he deserved his goal, and you could see he was itching for the third because he started to really put the burners on Iorfa in the second half and really tried to get around him a few times. And Iorfa did fairly well. I think there was a slide tackle in the box that I remember late on. But he didn't get his hat trick, but that's all right. Keeps him humble and keeps him moving on. So I do like him. He's like you said, Cal. He's a frustrating player, but often the players with that much talent and that much raw potential usually are the most frustrating because you know what they can do, and a lot of the times getting frustrated is because they're not doing it. So it was a great performance from him.
I think a lot of players had a really good game. I think there was a lot of 7 and 8s out of 10s, but we have to remember the level of opposition. They would be bottom without the points deduction. They're playing kids. They're playing experienced players. They've pretty much got 1.5 foot in League One, haven't they?
Having to play Bannon, that's as much as a points deduction as any.
It's very true. Very true. So we can't get too carried away. We have obviously got Portsmouth on Saturday, and we'll talk about that in just a moment and get Callum's and Ivan's predictions. If you have got some predictions you're watching live, get them in the comments and I'll read them out in just a little while. Cal, obviously an away day that we missed. Ivan was there. We are jealous. Of course we are. Jake was also there as well. So he'd give us the rundown. But those scenes at the end, I mean, we have to remember that we were in the position that Sheffield Wednesday were in not too long ago. And the fact that we are now packing out away ends. I mean, we were always packing out away ends, weren't we? But we've now got something to celebrate. And it's wins against Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday for the first time, I believe, in history. I saw a tweet by BBC Radio Derby earlier. So we seem to be doing things that we've not done in years. And the good times seem to be back, don't they?
They do. I think when you look at, we've had a lot of tough days away at Sheffield Wednesday, especially. I've been to a couple of them, and we've struggled, and they've had the right end of the stick. And obviously, we were, like you say, at that one point in history where they obviously beat us in League One in the playoffs. We've had things in the run-ins in the Championship. We've had a history with certain players and like you say, Barry Bannon and stuff like that. So just to have one evening where everything went our way and have a great away day for everyone who is in attendance on a Monday night, which due to scheduling is really tough to get to for certain people and stuff. And to pack an away end out fully and have a jubilant away trip where it's the highest goal tally under Eustace currently, and I think it won't be the last. I think we have the quality to do that to teams. It's just we need to do it more consistently. And the stars aligned yesterday with quite a poor team and us being very clinical with the chances we got. And we could, like Ivor mentioned earlier, we could have had 5 or 6 very easily if we'd have been more clinical with like Agyemang squaring it to Diaz. If he hadn't gone for his hat trick, we had Jackson having an opportunity. There was 2. That's just 2 off the top of my head. So yeah, look, I'm so glad for everyone who went because it's been long awaited at Sheffield Wednesday. So no, I think away from home, Derby County are a team to go watch this season.
Yeah, if you can get a ticket, you can you can watch
that's
us.
Very true. Yeah, if you can make any of the priority windows, good luck.
Exactly that. Ivan, tell us about the scenes after. Jake was saying in the group chat there was Christmas songs, happy birthday, there was bouncing, there was lots of celebrations. What were your thoughts on after the game?
Yeah, it was great. It was a really good away end, really good day in general. Like you said, it was 3,900, 4,000 fans in total, and there was singing throughout. Obviously, the performance benefited us singing more, and there was a lot of hatred towards their fans, which sort of spurred us on. But which is quite funny, like hearing the Chancery chant while Tomo scores on all of the replays and stuff is quite funny. But yeah, like afterwards, it was great. They all came over, obviously, and Max Lowe got a big boo from everyone, which was quite funny. He was sort of looking over to the fans quite a lot during the game. And then Langas sort of ran over to the crowd, and I was like, I couldn't sort of figure out what he was doing because him and Sanderson were messing about as usual. And then you could see, I remembered in midweek it was Sanderson's birthday, so he got the whole crowd to sing that, and it really made me laugh because everyone went, "Happy birthday to Dion Sanderson," and that really made me laugh. So yeah, it was great. It was a really good sort of similar to last year. And we had a few good wins last year, and they all come over, and yeah, everyone was in a good mood. And then yeah, it was a horrible night of rain and bad weather, so it was good for all the travelling fans to get a nice result.
Yeah, and let's hope we've got many more of them this season, next season, and for the rest of eternity. If we can win there again in the future, but probably won't be next year.
Won't be back there for a while. That's why I wanted to go. I knew I wouldn't be back there for a while.
Yeah. We'll see you in about 5 or 10 years, I think.
Oh.
But
gosh.
that'll be clipped, and that'll be on a Wednesday podcast
when they're in the
in
Prem in 3 years.
Yeah,
back down to League Two.
We're in League Two.
We'll be seeing their under 21s in the Paint Trophy.
That's it. Yeah, losing to their 21s. That'll probably be it. But Cal, let's talk about Saturday. A really good fixture to go into the festive period on, and a team that you'd think that would be able to get past, in my opinion. I know that the home form's not been as good as the away form, and yeah, there's no easy game, is there, in this championship? But it's a favourable fixture, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think when you look at, they're struggling away from home as far as I'm aware, and they're a team that when we were in League One, they were the cut above, and look, we've managed to over the last couple of seasons managed to stay up last season. Now we're trying to push into that mid-table top half of the championship, and we're doing so on paper currently. Touch wood, it keeps going that way, but Portsmouth are struggling, and look, it's again. You look at results, you look at the stats, you look at everything should point away of a winnable game, but it's not going to be easy. No game is easy in the Championship. We've seen that we can be 2-0 up at home and still lose a game. So we need to be really on our A game, go and do a job, go and do it professionally, and kick off that really busy Christmas period. It's always my favourite this time of year because it just seems football is every single day. You got darts on, you got the football on. It's great. I love, and then Christmas
Cricket
in between. Yeah, no, and then
let's not talk about that.
Yeah, don't want to talk about that now. It's quite a touchy subject. But yeah, no, I think you look. I think when we've got Leicester, Middlesbrough, Blues, we've got some tough away games and a tough home game in the new year. We need to see if we can get and start and kick it off with another win and get back-to-back wins, and then see where the festive period takes us. But it's a very winnable game on paper.
It is, yeah. And then they get a little bit more tricky, don't they, Ivan? It's a case of this one is your one to win, and then you've got to probably think about picking up some points at the very best. But then again, who knows? We went on that run before that nobody saw, so we maybe could do it again. What do you think?
Yeah, I think obviously there was some negativity about the sort of last 3 or 4 that we've lost and drawn and haven't been brilliant after our sort of 5 wins in a row. And the Sheffield Wednesday game is sort of a gimme. You have to win that one, and then I think it's come at a really nice time. These 2 games have come at a time where it was like, was the 5-game winning streak, was it fluky? Were we playing some bad teams? And then I sort of said it on a previous podcast, like we just are a bit of a mid-table team. We've only just come back up. Like it's totally fair enough. We're going to win some of the games against teams worse than us, hopefully Portsmouth, and then we're going to lose some games to teams better than us, and that's just the reality. There are some teams in this league who are 10 years ahead, or not 10 years ahead of us, but a long time ahead of us because they haven't had to go through what we've gone through. So we're punching above our weight, in my opinion, especially with the injuries that we've had. And yeah, I think the Portsmouth game will be a good opportunity to sort of, I think we'll win, and I think we'll win convincingly because they haven't looked great recently, and they've been kind of slipping down the table, and now they're only a point off relegation, I think. So they're going to be looking over their shoulder for the season, and I think it's a good opportunity to sort of say, like, right, we're at home just before Christmas. We've got a bit of a tough run, like you said, coming up. Let's go and put them away. Use the confidence of this game. Some of the players who played well that haven't been playing well, like Brett and Diaz. And yeah, go and really put them away. It'll be a sort of packed house. We'll hopefully be, they'll have a decent following. So it'll be a good game. And yeah, I do have confidence in them because I think we're a good side, and I think we're set up to sort of beat teams that aren't as. We're set up to beat a lot of teams around us, let alone teams who, in my opinion, their squad isn't near to us, even with the injuries, and their manager certainly isn't anywhere near ours. So yeah, we should. I'm really hoping we go and get a really good result, not just a 1-0 win. I hope we go and put a couple past them and have a nice day out, and then we can sort of deal with the tough run when it comes on, because I know Blues away is going to be really tricky, especially on Boxing Day. But we'll deal with that when it sort of comes to us. Hopefully we can get some nice wins in that run as well and get Leicester back. But yeah, big win this Saturday will be a nice sort of start to this tricky run in for confidence.
And the good thing is we're not in a position now to look at that run and think, oh, we could be 10 points adrift at the bottom of the table, or we could be 3 points from safety. So we can go into it, as I said on a previous episode, we can be a little bit fearless in all honesty, and go and enjoy it, and go to enjoy some of these away days and these home games. Just got a WhatsApp in our group chat from Jake, who says, Jamie, I think you've banned me from the channel because I can't comment. I can confirm that I haven't banned you, but I might do for accusatory tones like that. But if you want to send me your score prediction, Jake, on WhatsApp, then I'll look to my left in just a moment. Cal, coming to you first. Score prediction against Pompey. Give me your score, goal scorers, man of the match, and favourite Christmas song.
Oh,
quickly though.
Yeah, well, I was about to say Saturday, 3:00. First time we've had one of those in a while. I'm going to go 2-0 Derby County. Goal scorers. I am going to go Patrick Agyemang and Bobby Clark. And favourite Christmas song, Driving Home for Christmas.
Love it. Classic. Ivan, same to you.
I'll get my Christmas song out of the way because I need to actually look it up. Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. That's the one that
Ooh.
really 1st of December that gets me in the Christmas
Can I
mood.
just say
But,
something about that before you?
Yeah.
Right. The only problem I have with that song is in the lyrics it says that they've been practicing their carols all year long. You do not practice Christmas
Some
carols
people get
all year long.
prepping, mate. You know, some people get
Jamie, you
prep.
definitely
It's an
practice your
important time
carols
of the
all year long.
Yeah, I'm just jealous because I should be the only one that practices
Who
them
does
all year
that?
long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not getting the
Okay.
recognition.
Yes. Another solid choice. Another solid choice.
Yeah, no, it is a good one. But yeah, I think this weekend it'll be a 3-1 win. I think we'll see. I keep saying Clark's going to score, and he never does. But I think we'll see 2 from him on Saturday, and then I think you just kind of usually bolt on at home for a centre back goal. So I'll chuck one to Matt Clark. He hasn't had one, and I'm trying to think of his last one because that was an own goal, the last one that he supposedly scored. So I'll go 1 from him, 2 from Clark, 3-1 win, and I think it will be weirdly stress-free, which it obviously won't be.
I like
but
it.
one can hope.
I
One
like
can hope.
Hopefully. Eustace Enthusiast says Derby 2, Pompey 0, Clark and Elder, Massinho getting sacked. And he's also said best song is Merry Xmas Everybody by Slade, another absolute banger. I am going to go for firstly my Christmas song, which is A Spaceman Came Travelling by Chris de Burgh, which is an absolute tune. And Intergalactic as well. There's not many intergalactic space Christmas songs out there. So, yeah, that's my Christmas song. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory. And I'm going to go for a Ben Brereton Diaz brace. I think he's going to not just score 1, he's going to score 2. Well, that is absolutely everything from us. So if you have enjoyed this tonight, please do go and like us wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you can rate us 5-star, that would be perfect. Tell your friends, tell your dog. We love new listeners and we love everyone coming along and commenting live. Or if you are listening back, please do comment because we do get back to every single comment. We will see you on Sunday to talk about hopefully another 3 points for the Rams. But until then, it is goodbye from me.
Merry Christmas to all the dogs out there. Goodbye from me.
I was going to say Merry Christmas to Barry Bannon there, but you've done it for me. So, goodbye from me as well.
We shall see you on Sunday.